Okay, today I'm going to show you guys two things, I guess. How to use a new clutch holder and how to swap out bearings in primary. This particular one's 800 primary, and if we can get it worked out for the 900s and thousands, same process, and we'll go through one other extra step in the middle of it. So this will be changing out the new style bearings that Polaris is using actually to our heavy duty primary. So you'll take the primary holder, put it in a vise. Alright, so we got it in a vise. Take our primary, put it down on top, take the bolt that comes with it. I don't even know what size that is, but anyway, we're going to tighten it down. The instructions say to tighten this down to 96 foot-pound. Alright, now it will not move. This clutch has been previously apart. I cleaned it, been playing with it. So anyway, we got our clutch off, we got it in here secured, and you remove the 6 screws. I only got two left. Alright, so like I said, I only got 2. You'll pull the rest of them off. Now one thing that you want to do is you want to mark, cover all parts, just except for the bottom, doesn't matter, but mark all parts. There's also an X on the Spider, an X on the movable sheave. There is no X on these, so you want to just mark them so that when you go back, it'll be in the same spot. Okay, so take that to the side, and a spring. Alright, mine's loose, but you're going to take the Spider tool we sell. You're going to put it on here. I've got a pull handle I bought at Sears. It's 3/4 inch drive, and you're going to bust it loose. Now, like I said, mine's already loose. I got a cheater bar here that I have to use sometimes. Sometimes this table even turns. But anyway, you just take the Spider, turn and loosen the Spider. I have had to apply heat to some not. This one I didn't. I took a torch, I got a heat gun, either or, and if that's your case, apply some heat, but not a lot. If you're going to use a torch, be very careful but to get this Spider warm. Okay, so now as you loosen this up, there's these buttons in the end of the Spider, and they will fall out and go everywhere. There are actually 3 pieces in each side. So as you get it, I would suggest putting your hand underneath it like this and then spin it till it's loose. Alright, mine's loose. You can take it off as one assembly if you want to. Now we got other videos for cleaning and taking these apart, and you can certainly watch them, but if you take it apart, like I said, there's these little buttons. I don't want to take this one loose right now, but there's little buttons and they'll fall out. So you take those loose, but for this particular video, it's not necessary. Okay, so then we're left with our spacer. There is a little washer here, our old bearing that we're removing, and actually this one's stuck. There's a washer on the bottom, so there was a washer there. In our kit, I don't have them out here, but you're going to get 2 new one of these. Now I will say this. If this is an 08 or 09 Razor and you're simply buying this bearing as a replacement, you won't need our spacer, and that's why we have it on there, because you already have one. This is just going to be a replacement for you. Alright, so go back with the washer, the new bearing, the washer, and then the new spacer. Now the spacer has a bevel on one side, and bevel has to go down. Also, if you're adding a one-way bearing to your primary. Same video, same everything. The only difference is obviously the bearing. And so you want the bearing to be able, when you put it on, it needs to turn clockwise but not counterclockwise, okay? Because when it's on the vehicle and you decelerate, that belt is riding here and it's pushing it forward, and that's, so you don't want it to go. So you want it to be able to turn clockwise, not counterclock, okay? That's for the one-way bearing, guys. Two-way, doesn't matter. Either way is fine. Alright, so then we would just basically reverse. Alright, and again, I would highly suggest you clean this up, brake clean, whatever, Scotch-Brite surfaces these, and again, there's other videos for that, and I'm not going through that today. You want to, if you do happen to pull this out, the way I did it is I put them back in, setting over to the side, and then where I could lean one side up, and I just made a circle, putting this back in together. And then again, you're going to put your hand back in here so it doesn't come out, and then we're going to go back down, okay? Alright, now that it gets down in there so far, you can tighten it up. One other thing, I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this part into the video, may just interrupt it, so if it looks funny, that's why. I forgot to tell you, you want to put Loctite on these threads on this clutch when you torque this back down. If you use green, which is the best there is, you have to heat it to get it off at another point. I would probably either use green or red Loctite on these threads, so when you torque it down. So don't forget the Loctite. Alright, so then once you get there, you're going to get your spider tool and you're going to torque it on an 800. You're going to torque it, whoops, I don't need that. Bear with me. Yes, I do. Alright, we're going to torque it 200 foot-pounds. Alright, I'm not actually torquing this one just a second because I got to take it back apart. So 200 foot-pounds, take your tool off. Put your spring back on, put your cover back on. Remember all the alignment marks. Okay, one thing I want to mention, and I say if, and that's because the day that I'm making this video, I don't know whether we're going to be able to do this for any other models other than 800 clutch. But in the event that you're going to use this video for those, basically the only difference is the 900s and 1000s have this primary lock nut on here, okay? So it will be, when you take this apart, here's where it'll be. It's called a primary spider nut, okay? And it takes another tool that we sell. Of course, we sell all these tools to come down and get it off. Now, I will tell you, the nut themselves on the 900s and 1000s are torqued 250 foot-pounds, and the spider is torqued 280 to 300. I took apart a 900 yesterday off of my Ranger, and I did have to heat it up to get it off. So to make it simple, the differences between 800 clutch and a 900 for this video's purpose is the spider nut that's got to come off, and one extra tool to get it off. Okay, so like I said, I'm not actually gonna put this one completely back together because I've got to take it apart. But you put your spring down in here, then again line everything up with your marks and bring it up like so. Screw your screws back in. When you're putting your 6 in, you want to stagger them a little bit at a time to get them tight. And then probably the last thing you want to do with this, because we've touched it with our dirty fingers, is you want to take some brake clean and a clean white rag and spray on it and get all of this belt surface grease-free, dust-free, best you can. This particular one I went ahead and cleaned earlier. Brake clean, use spray Teflon lubricant on the surface, on the moving surfaces and so forth. And I think that's in one of our cleaning videos. Anyway, it's down and dirty. You can see our bearing, new bearing moves. Okay, now that we got our clutch all back together, probably I'm going to, while I got it in there, take my clean rag. This way I don't have to hold it. Wipe this belt surface off with that brake clean. You can see how much stuff come off of it. Get me another clean area of this. Alright. Alright, take your bolt out. Depending on which clutch this is, you're either going to use the 900s and the 1000s, use your puller till you get the clutch off, or 800s, 570s. You're going to drop this rod down in here, and then use your didn't want to drop in. Then you take a 1/4 inch socket, just like you do to pull it off the vehicle. Ready to go back on.